And we welcome you to the Sydney Sports Ground for the 1983 Rugby Union Grand Final between Randwick and Manly. A very good crowd on hand here for this climax to the season, and bright sunshine now after overcast conditions earlier on in the day. With me is the former Australian captain, Trevor Allen. Trevor, how do you see this big one this afternoon?
Well, Gordon, good afternoon, viewers. Let me say that I think we're going to have a very tight one and a very hard one. Manly certainly have a great chance to win a premiership, and the last time was 1950. And I say that because they have a very strong and a very big pack of forwards. But for them to win it, they really have to take control for basically 80 minutes of the game and win at least 65% of the ball. Now, if they do that, as I say, Manly have a great chance. But they're up against Randwick, a really great grand final team, as we know. But if they get 50% of the ball, I can't see Manly getting up, because the Randwick backs are very fast and very good. And they chime in very well with this pack of forwards, which have indicated that over the time that they're not as good as the opposition, but they usually are in grand finals. So I think, viewers, we're going to have one heck of a game here this afternoon, with Manly a chance, but it all depends on their forwards.
So this grand final going live all over Australia. The Rugby Union Grand Final between the Premiers Randwick, who are chasing their 6th straight first-grade premiership, and Manly, who haven't won since 1950. They've had 5 attempts since that date. But now let's go through the details of the earlier grand finals this afternoon in reserve, 3rd and 4th grade. In the 4th grade, Warringah winning its first ever premiership in any of the 4 grades, and really great celebration out here today for the Green Rats, who beat Gordon by 9 points to 6. In the 3rd grade grand final, not a happy day for Randwick so far. Gordon beating Randwick by 18 points to 12, and there's a story there, Trevor Allen.
Yes, the Gordon player, Neville Emery, scored all the 18 points. And, of course, I said Neville Emery, of course, it's Phil Emery. Neville Emery was his dad, who played with me sometime, and I'm sure that Neville must be thrilled a bit with young Phil's performance today.
So the Randwick side were the 3rd grade premiers, but they've lost that premiership this afternoon. And in 2nd grade, another upset result. The Galloping Greens going down to a very determined and tenacious Eastwood side. Very impressive this afternoon, Eastwood, beating Randwick by 25 points to 9. So Randwick, the minor premiers, losing their grand final for the 2nd year in a row in reserve grade. So let's now look at the previous clashes between Randwick and Manly in 1st grade this season. Both sides were below full strength in the first round, with Randwick winger Damien Brown crossing for 3 tries. Is it this his 3rd try? It is! Damien Brown. The 2nd round clash at Manly Oval was a real thriller, with the Manly forwards dominating in the first half. Reynolds, yes! Big Ross Reynolds. The major semi-final was all Manly. Here, some brilliance from the 3 Ella brothers. Ella, straight through, Gary Ella outside. Gary Ella for the line. He should score, under the posts. But Manly clinched the game with this fine try after lead work from Peter Fitzsimons. Hall, Creera, John Creera. Haney, Brett Haney. So really some exciting football from both sides this season. Randwick and Manly certainly establishing themselves in 1983 in the Sweps Premiership as the 2 best sides. And we really are looking forward to what many people feel will be the grand final of the decade, if not one of the best of all time. Now let's go into the dressing rooms, and it was a very tense scene in both rooms. Firstly, though, the Manly camp, and they had plenty of balloons in there. There's Freddie Whiteman, the former Des Moines and New South Wales country player, a product of Newington College. But the Manly camp, very happy in their training sessions this week. They've been very relaxed, and they're going out this afternoon to take up where they left off in that major semi-final. Alan Jones, the Manly coach, head of the biggest industrial secretariat in the country, the New South Wales Employers Federation.
And Jones, of course, has a very big job on his hand to motivate these boys. I think they would be motivated. One, Ollie Hall is a player that I think will be striving to do well today. Now with Pilecki out of the Australian side for France.
There's Paul Kennedy, who came on as a replacement in the 1981 Grand Final, and Philip Cox, the sponge boy for Manly today.
It's a sad blow for Manly when Philip Cox went off the field.
And there's Tin Legs in the foreground there, Tony Cox. His knees heavily bandaged this afternoon. He was badly injured in 1977. This is the Randwick camp now. On the left is George Gavalis, who is playing his first grade Grand Final, a product of Homebush Boys High. And there's John Curran and Tony Purdy, the winger, who's done so well for Randwick this year. Purdy has crossed for no less than 11 tries in first grade this season. But the Randwick boys know what Grand Finals are all about, especially this man, John Maxwell. He's playing in his 9th first grade Grand Final this afternoon, and he's played in the last 5 in a row for Randwick, and he's won 7 first grade premierships. What a magnificent record. And this man, Jeff Sale, he has his lucky T-shirt and his lucky underpants on this afternoon. Chris Walker, the big prop forward.
Yes, Walker obviously is a player that really holds the scrum together. Good front rower, and will be a force out there today against Manly.
So a very colourful scene here as we await the arrival of these two sides this afternoon. In the foreground you can see juniors from the Randwick district. Randwick is able to draw on some very strong schools like Marcellin College, also Randwick Boys High School, Matraville Boys High School. They really have unearthed some brilliant talent over the years, and it's a club steeped in great history. Let's look at 2 of the key players in the lineups this afternoon. Firstly, in the Randwick side, and we're going to look at the 2 hookers, 2 of the unsung people on the field. Bruce Hoover-Maloof is one of the most colourful rugby personalities in the game. He's also known as General MacArthur because after he broke his leg in Britain with the Wallabies, he vowed, "I will return." Maloof has played in 4 first grade Grand Finals for Randwick. This is hooker Rod Creera for Manly. He's playing in his 99th first grade game today, and all have been in first grade. He's never missed a match through injury, and he was Manly's best and fairest player last year in first grade. And he'll be out to tip the bucket on his arch rival Maloof this afternoon. So we're ready now for the 2 sides in the 1983 Grand Final. The Randwick side will be first on the field. Trevor, it really is a magnificent scene out here at the Sydney Sports Ground.
It is, and I think the viewers will obviously be very interested in the ground conditions. I can tell you that the ground conditions out here today are very good. It's quite dry. There were rumours that the ground was fairly heavy, but it's far from that. You will see as the play progresses that there's plenty of speed on out there today, so it should suit both sets of backs. But it is a great day, very fine. The breeze at the moment appears to be coming from right to left, more of a nor'easter here in Sydney. But if you look at it as blowing right to left, you'll get a fair idea as to what is happening. A few balloons have just gone up and will indicate a little bit where the wind is, and of course the way they're going straight up. But we'll drift across, I think, a little towards the west. But they're the balloons which will be released when Manly comes out.
Well, at half-time we'll be announcing the Try of the Year competition result. During the season, for the benefit of our interstate viewers, we've shown people here in New South Wales the 7 top tries of the year, and we've asked viewers to nominate the top 4 tries. And this afternoon at half-time in this premiership match in first grade, we'll be having the draw for the correct entries for the top 4 tries of 1983. We'll also be showing you those tries, and the 2 successful entries will receive the prize, which I think is a pretty valuable one, really. Some tremendous merchandise in the ABC shop. $200 worth of merchandise for the first 2 correct entries, plus this book here. It's the game for the game itself. It's the history of the Sub-District Rugby Union. It's a non-commercial publication, and all funds will be ploughed back into the Sub-District football. Very good publication, also going to the 2 correct entries this afternoon in the Try of the Year competition, and it's available at Sub-District offices and also the Sydney Rugby Union. But now we see the Randwick side led out by the Australian captain, Mark Ella. 5 Wallabies in this star-studded Randwick side, as well as 7 former schoolboy internationals. And what a great scene it is here as Mark Ella comes out among these schoolboys. Poitevin, Walker, Gavalis, Rutherford, Walker, Purdy, Glenn Ella and John Curran, the lucky last man out. It's the first senior Grand Final for Curran, Carver, Gavalis and also Damien Brown. John Maxwell and Alan Singer chasing their 8th first grade premiership with Randwick. And Captain Mark Ella is looking for his 6th premiership today. Now let's see the balloons go off. The balloons are going up in the air now as Steve Williams leads out the Manly side. A tremendous side here. And Manly will be hoping to win by as many points as there are balloons. The Red and Blues, the biggest forward pack in the competition. The Manly lineup boasts 6 survivors of the 1981 Grand Final side, beaten here at the Sports Ground by Randwick. In the forwards, Reynolds, Creera and Calcraft, as well as Kennedy, who was a replacement. They're the survivors. And in the backs, the prolific point scorer James Black, also Brett Haining. Captain Steve Williams is one of 2 Wallabies in the team, while Clemens and Miller are former schoolboy internationals. The referee this afternoon, Australia's outstanding referee too, and he is in charge today of his 8th first grade grand final way back in 1974, his first, and it's his 191st first grade fixture. Trevor Allen.
Yes, well, it will be a very difficult one, I think, for Dick Byers today. It could be very tough early on, and I think he will probably try and show his authority if anything develops, and it could possibly, because both these sides are very steamed up, particularly in the forwards. And watch for Simon Portivan, the redhead from Randwick. Had a magnificent game last week.
Taken by Williams. Manly controlling in the forwards at this first maul. Creera calling for the ball. McGeek. And Tony McGeek finds touch up near the halfway line. Good control there from the Manly forwards.
Well, we're going straight into a line out now, and Randwick, surprisingly, have called for a short one or just a 2-man line out. That's interesting tactics early.
Rutherford with 2 hands takes it well. No place for the faint-hearted. And the referee calling up proceedings very quickly that time.
It looked as though it was going to be fairly rough. It will be for the first 10 minutes. Both packs of forwards will set out to try and get on top of the opposition. And that will make it a very tough battle because they're very evenly matched. As Gordon has said, Manly just a little bit bigger. But Randwick can skirt round. Now, here's interesting, the far touch judge is coming in to report play, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see that Kennedy for Manly may be warned. I did think in that last ruck that Kennedy came in and looked a bit vicious, but it was very difficult to tell where the ball was. Speaking to Williams, the skipper of Manly.
And so the first penalty of the game goes to Randwick, and this kick is within range for Mark Ella. He's about 37 metres out and only 10 metres in from this broadcast touchline. So a chance for Randwick to put first points on the board after only 2.5 minutes of play in this first half.
And of course, like all kicks, they're terribly important, but to both Mark Ella and Black, Black for Manly, their first kicks will be the important ones.
He's kicking into a cross breeze. He's hooked it. No goal. A very strong breeze blowing straight across the ground from the far side. And that one never looked likely.
Not a good kick by Mark Ella. And of course, Black is the player coming up. He will be the one we'll watch closely when he gets around to having a shot at penalty goals.
Mark Ella. Walker's outside. And that's a nice torpedo kick by Ella. Finding touch 30 metres out from the Manly goal line. Very tricky wind out here at the Sports Ground. It's really swirling around at the moment. Well taken at the back by Reynolds. Ross Reynolds, number 8 for Manly, has not been beaten in the lineouts this season. And there he is with the headband, number 8. Many consider him unlucky not to have made the Wallaby team, particularly because of his versatility. Reynolds with strength, slips it back. Miller goes down on the loose ball. Cox. Well, we haven't seen any fisticuffs so far. We thought it would be a very fiery opening 10 minutes. It certainly was last week between Randwick and Eastwood. And there's a big push from the Randwick scrum. Glenn Ella. He's hoisted and following. Creer the hooker, followed by Ella. Hands in the ruck there by Randwick. The ruck is formed when two players are in contact over the ball. And I think that may well have been against Glenn Ella.
It was, and Glenn Ella wasn't very happy about the decision. I think he thought that, okay, the ball had gone to ground and it was open slather, so to speak. McGeek, the fullback for Manly, has been a very sound fullback, and there you see one of the problems at the Sydney Sports Ground, shading his eye from the sun. Gown runs east to west.
Good ball for Manly. Cox with a high tester for Glenn Ella. Black coming through. Ella took it brilliantly. And the Manly forward pack goes over the top. Creera. Miller. It's only 15 metres out from the Randwick goal line. Tremendous drive there from the Manly forwards.
It was very good play by the Manly forwards. They drove into that maul very, very quickly and in a very hard and determined fashion. But unfortunately, the Manly backs were not in position, and consequently the little halfback had to go around and go back up the blind side to play it safe.
Rutherford went high. Manly again. Cox. Caught by Poitevin. Manly setting up for this second phase possession. It comes to Randwick. Mark Ellis caught. Or is it Glenn? A bit hard to tell the twins apart for obvious reasons.
Well, it was Glenn. I know, because he's 15.
Creera to Williams, who wins it well. Loose tap, though. Ball lost forward there by the Manly halfback, John Creera. Number 10 there is Tony Cox, who put that high ball up for a very courageous take from Glenn Ella.
Well, so far Manly have concentrated on their forwards, or through their forwards, and not bad tactics early on.
Glenn Ella in trouble. He's still in play, and he's forced over the goal line. Very good play there from the Manly hooker, Rod Creera, and the back row, who were able to come through very quickly.
Yes, that was very good forward play, and of course Manly had the put in. They were going forward.
Good ball here for Manly. They're trying to move the Randwick scrum, but it's holding. Here it comes. Offside, Randwick.
Well, they held that ball very, very well. Creera at halfback was controlling it. He was directing. It was interesting to see Singh, the halfback for Randwick, who is very difficult to get away from. He finally gave up the ghost. He could see that there was a strong chance that Manly would go around the blind side, so he retreated back to the base of his scrum. The penalty is gone against Randwick, and so a chance. And as we said earlier, talking about Mark Ella, he missed his first one. James Black is a prolific goal kicker, but when he has a bad day, he has a bad day.
If James Black kicks this goal, he will pass Mick Kahn's record of 181 points, which was set in the 1966 season. Black has 180 at the moment.
This is the one he wants. Has wind assistance.
It's good. Lovely kick by James Black. The Manly supporters are delighted. And it's the Blue and Reds in the lead by 3 points to 0 after nearly 10 minutes of play in the first half.
Very important kick. Black, as I mentioned, a great goalkeeper, and as Gordon suggested, with that record, a great one.
Whiteman to Calcraft. Manly controlling again. Cox. Miller, quick hands to Haining. The fullback in front. Cox outside, and he didn't see him. Singh. But quick hands there from the number 7 for Manly, Ian Miller. There he is, hands on hips, along with Gary Ella and Tony Melrose. He was the only member of the Australian schoolboy team in 77-78 to play in all 5 internationals. Mark Ella's kick across field, Delamere underneath. Referee playing on. No knock on.
Well, that was interesting. That kick, you may have noticed, that was thumped pretty well by Ella. And it stood up. The wind really held that ball back a bit, so it looks a bit stronger than we perhaps expected it to be. And that was the final result of the play. But that ball didn't go as far as Ella expected it to. So his next kicks will probably be a little lower than that trajectory.
Glenn Ella. Big kick downfield. Number 6 at the back for Manly is Bill Calcraft, opposed to the test flanker Simon Poitevin for Randwick. Calcraft went high. And some offside play from Randwick in the forwards. John Maxwell querying the decision. But James Black coming up to have another shot at goal. And this could give Manly a 6-point advantage.
Well, as you will see, that the kick is about 9 metres inside the Randwick half. And so it's a fairly long distance kick. But again, because of the wind, which I think would probably be coming right behind the flight of the ball, and so he has the assistance of the breeze. But Black, of course, is a goal kicker that can kick considerable distances. But for him to put this one on, he must be confident after his previous kick, and only kick, which he put over.
"11 minutes of play gone in this first half. The Manly forwards have been on top so far. James Black. This could be a tremendous boost for Manly. It's close. A brilliant kick again by Black, and Manly to a 6-point advantage. Well, this man played in the 81 grand final. He didn't have a very happy day on that occasion, but he's doing everything right so far.
And a youngster, and his confidence will be boosted greatly.
Calcraft, straight through the Randwick forwards, caught by Walker. Creera, Cox. Nice kick by Cox. Glenn Ella underneath. Here comes Haining. And another very nicely judged kick by Tony Cox to Glenn Ella. One well by Reynolds. Black. That one going out on the ball.
Well, Black was forced to step back and come towards this sideline, mainly because of Poitevin, Randwick back rower, coming out very quickly.
Taken by Curran. He's wrapped up by Reynolds. Ella. Gary Ella. Towed through by Walker. McGeek taking his time. Nice kick. Tony McGeek, who was the runner-up in the Herald Cup Best and Fairest in 1979 behind Grant Andrews when playing for University of New South Wales, has gained 50 metres.
Yes, that was good play. He realised that Ella was coming across, and all he had to do was gather it neatly, which he did, and he pushed it ahead of Ella. Ella couldn't get to it.
Maxwell winning at the back. There's a lot of power in this Manly pack, though. Glenn Ella in trouble again, but he did well to clear that ball. Here's McGeek, attempted field goal, but the referee's whistle has gone for offside play. McGeek still had his field goal attempt, And it almost went through. Nothing like a bit of practice.
Yes, he thought he might as well have a crack at it.
Manly playing with this fairly blustery breeze. It looked to be coming straight across the field, but certainly it is favouring Manly, blowing from the top right-hand corner as we look at this line-out. Reynolds, beautiful two-handed take. It's gone back to Whiteman. Vera calling for it. Kennedy got in the way. That's a shocking kick by Cox. His first mistake. Clash of players behind the play, Steve Williams and John Maxwell. It was George Gavalis. Apologies to John Maxwell. Number 3, George Gavalis, the unemployed chef, in that fracas with Steve Williams.
And interesting, Gordon, the touch judge on the far side had his flag up and arm up, indicating that both sides were at fault. And so consequently, Dick Byers here now, who had a pretty rough one game last week, has indicated that let's not have it again. And so a scrum.
Very willing clash in the forwards. Mark Ella cut out to Gary. Not a good kick, but it bounced over McGeek's head. Watch the bounce. Well, Haining got in Damien Brown's way that time. He was thrown out of the way. But Gary Ella's kick didn't look to be terribly well judged, but eventually it's seen Randwick gain about 40 metres. Tim Carver, the product of Waverley College. He won it well at the front. Not in straight, says the referee. Scrum 15 metres in. Manly ahead by 6 points to 0 after 16 minutes of this first half.
Well, there you can see the Manly pack anxious to get into this game, anxious to put a lot of pressure on the Randwick pack, which is a tough pack, probably a little smaller than Manly. There's plenty going on in there. Manly realise that if they can get on top on the forwards, they've got a fair sort of a show. Randwick realise that they've got to get the ball out to this scintillating back line that they have.
Loose ball for Singh, stolen by Randwick. Maxwell back to Singh. Mark Ella, field goal. It looks pretty close. It's there, what a kick. Mark Ella, who's been kicking field goals from everywhere in this final series, has done it again.
And he is a player that you cannot leave alone. Look at that, the defence was almost upon him. He seems to be able to just hook it around the coming players.
"17 minutes gone in the first half and only 3 points in it." Mark Ella back in the action. Left foot kick. And it's a good one too. Over the halfway line from just outside his own goal line.
Well, Mark Ella will be very happy with that kick, and so will the Randwick forwards. They'll be delighted with the field goal. Let's put them back in the picture. Mark Ella, terribly dangerous around the goalpost.
Won by Williams, but the referee says not straight. So both hookers who are throwing into these lineouts are having trouble with the breeze. Solid clash of the front rows. Referee says put it in. Almost a free kick there to Manly. Singh looking for the touchline. Alan Singh playing his 198th first grade game today, and he's played in all 7 Randwick first grade premierships. He's never lost a grand final. He's the Randwick lucky charm. Ross Reynolds taking it at the back. Randwick trying to spoil. Singh kicks ahead straight to Cox. Here's Damien Brown. Damien Brown off for a run. Plenty of excitement so far, and there's nothing in the grand final. Long throw to Poitevin. He took it well. Mark Ella. Almost intercepted by Miller. Damien Brown.
Well, both sides very anxious to pounce on the loose ball. Randwick starting to mount a few attacks now. Mark Ellis looking to get as much possession.
Independent 42-32.
Steve Williams winning well to Creera. He juggled the ball. Ball back by Whiteman. Manly controlling here. They're trying to drive Randwick back, but can't. That's a good drive from the Randwick pack. Manly, with their bulk and power, were unable to drive off that time.
Yes, it's Randwick's put in there. Their forwards are starting to get to the rucks and mauls fairly quickly. They're a very mobile pack.
Singh has kicked it straight to McGee. He should send this one downfield.
McGee having a steady game. Very rarely makes many mistakes.
Carver. Caught by Ollie Hall, number 1, with the white headband. Cox, Black. Clemens coming through. Driving kick by Black. Glenn Ellis snuck a look over his shoulder. And he sent play back up towards the halfway. Glenn Ella dropped from the Sydney team this year after missing training against the American Eagles. But he's bounced back to his best form. 20 minutes elapsed in this first half. Manly ahead by 6-3 and a close struggle in the lineouts. Reynolds couldn't take it. Cox, Black. Clemens hasn't touched it yet. And Black's kicked it too deep. Well, this is playing into Randwick's hands. Manly with this breeze are looking for points.
There's Black trying to kick his side down into the right area in the quarter. Good attempt, but just didn't get the result he wanted.
McGee. Looking for the broadcast touchline and finding it. Lovely play there by Tony McGee. 30 metres out from the Randwick goal line. George Gavalis, a big moment for him today with his right shoulder heavily strapped and bandaged there. He's had a painkiller before the game. Rutherford winning the line out for Randwick. Here it comes, Maloof to Singh, to Mark Ella. And Mark Ella, the general in this Randwick back line, sending play back into Manly's territory.
And judging his kicking very well. He went out and he hooked that one back, used the breeze, but still gained almost 30, 40 metres.
Bill Calcraft, loose ball, Poitevins there, wraps up Creera. So too is Curran. Randwick ruck it back and here it comes. Ella, field goal attempt.
Well, that was an ambitious kick, I thought, by Mark Ella. He was a long way out. I must admit, you never know when he's going to put them over. But what a game we've got at the moment. Both packs of forwards going very, very well. Randwick appear to be just getting a little bit on top. Manly are endeavouring to try and get on top of the forwards, but they can't do it.
Gavalis pushed out by Steve Williams. Clever play there by Big Steve, number 5. Ella. There's an overlap here. Glenn Ella, straight through. Mark Ella's there, so is Brown. Damien Brown, he's close. Held up. Well, Glenn Ella went through. penalty's gone to Manly here. Hard to see what that was for. But I think if we have a look at that one again, if the pass had gone to Mark Ella, I'm sure Randwick would have scored.
Well, just have a look at that. There's Mark Ella through the dummy to Gary Ella coming through, and Glenn Ella hit the ball. Beautiful, I think. Yes, I agree with you, Gordon. Mark Ella was in a handy position there, right alongside, and had he received it, I think perhaps we'd have seen a Randwick trap.
Well, the irony there is that the Ellas usually wait for each other to come through, but that time Glenn saw Brown unmarked outside, and Brown almost scored.
Because I think it was a fair decision. They were getting awfully close to the line. But also full credit to Manly to get out of that. They looked as though they were shot to pieces when Glenn Ella tore through, but their defence did cover it up.
The Randwick forwards have come right back into the game. They've answered the challenge from Manly. Mark Ella sees the gap. Back to Poiterman. Knock on. Referee plays advantage. John Maxwell, number 7 there, certainly leading these Randwick forwards by example. And he was also under a cloud with injury. So far, he's going like a house on fire. The halfback, number 9 there, must keep his feet behind the ball. Otherwise, he's offside. So it was good control there. And finally, the penalty goes Manly's way, and deservingly so too.
Well, some good driving play by Maxwell, number 7, for the Randwick side. And of course his other back rower, Simon Poiterman, has been really harassing the inside backs, and also are getting to the loose ball very quickly, and consequently Randwick are loving every moment of it. But Manly still standing up to them well.
Both sides seem to be over their early nerves. And the match has settled down now as we're into the second quarter of the game. Creera. Well, he actually did knock the ball on there. The referee missed it. He was unsighted. Creera is flat on his back after the tackle.
Creera was...
There's the other hooker, Bruce Maloof. You'll notice Maloof, number 2 there for Randwick, is wearing a heavy... Now watch, now he actually hit his hand there, but he got away with it, Creera. Solid tackle by little Alan Singh. Mark Ella. McGeek in good position. Opens up the angle and makes sure of his touch. Bruce Maloof, number 2, throwing into the line out. Now that's a special support for his knee cartilage. Simon Poiterman. Maloof not fully fit this afternoon, but he wouldn't miss this grand final for the world. Good push by Manly. Tony McGeek has not put a foot wrong so far at fullback.
He's had a great season.
Ollie Hall, the former New South Wales country player, 7 years with country, came down from Dubbo last year. Unlucky not to make the Wallaby team, as Trevor said. Calcraft goes down on the loose ball. Caught by Maxwell. Manly ruck it back. Here it comes. Black. Here comes Delamere.
Well, Manly must be most anxious to get their back line going. They've been using the kick quite well and gaining a considerable amount of territory. But I think with this win behind them, they've got to start having a look to see if they can run their backs. But I must also say, viewers, that the Randwick back line is a very good one defensive-wise. They're very difficult to penetrate.
Williams won it. Creera went under some head-high tackles. Now there's been the 2 hookers. Look at them go. The bantamweights.
Well, that was a real stand-up fight, that was. It really went on, and Dick Byers, of course, would not know how it started. I think he would be loath to send either of the players or both the players from the field at this stage, and I think he really wants to see this game played with the full complement on both sides. But I would reckon, knowing Dick Byers, after that little episode, it won't want to happen again, or we'll see someone get their marching orders.
Wheeled by Manly. Picked up by Curran, number 8 there. Randwick driving solidly, and they will have the scrum feed again. Penalty here to Manly. The referee spotted an illegality. And I think there may have been a little bit of mouth there from one of the Randwick players.
Well, Dick Byers, Steve Williams, the skipper from Manly, just asking what was going on. And of course, young Black coming up to take this kick. James Black has had 2 attempts at penalty and kick 2. And once again, not an easy one by any means. Must be about 5 metres from the far touch. He's something like about 8 metres outside the quarter. Not the longest one that he's had so far, but far more angled than his previous kicks.
So an indiscretion there by Randwick in that last ruck has given James Black the opportunity to add a further 3 points. He's kicked 2 out of 2 so far from difficult angles. The breeze behind him again. That one's gone away to the left. Here's Mark Ella taking it in Australian football fashion. He's going for a quick drop out. Watch him. Some people have suggested this could be the last time we see Mark Ella in a Randwick jersey. He has been the target of some big league offers. Certainly will be a sad day for Australian rugby when he disappears from the scene. Reynolds again winning. Cox, Flemons, McGeek's in the line. Black, straight through. Back to Calcraft. Hall mauling the ball for Manly. Randwick looking a bit loose. Kennedy slipping it back. Rutherford, the big second rower. He's well tackled by Creera. Solid tackle by John Creera. Now Manly push Randwick. Very close this scrum feed. Let's see which way it goes.
It's going Randwick's way. I think they might have just had the edge. It was a good one. Good struggle between the 2 8s.
Glenella. Chip over the top. It's a good one. Well, the first time the Ella brothers played first grade for Randwick was back in 1978. The 3 were there, and Northern Suburbs were beaten 63-0. Manly ahead by 6-3 after 32 minutes. Steve Williams wins the line out. Now they're driving Randwick back. That's more like it from the Manly forwards. Manly going ahead in the line-outs by 9-7. Black. Kick across field looking for the far touchline. Still in play. Glenella hasn't found touch. Black, will he attempt a field goal? He's going to follow. Glenn's underneath.
Well, that was good play by both Ella and Black. Some good football, good taking and good kicking. But now Manly have got themselves into a position where they really must start attacking through their backs. Their forwards have been taking it along, and a lot of the times I thought that the Manly forwards should have let it come back. They've held it just a little bit too long.
Calcraft at the back for Manly. Miller slips it back. Line side to Cox. Tony Cox running strongly. Creera. John Creera. Caught by Mark Ella. Ball and all. Manly on the rampage. 5 metres out. Oh, tremendous stuff from the big Manly pack. John Creera again in the thick of things with his brother Rod.
Yes, well, John Kerr, he looked as though he had a great chance of getting that ball outside. And there you get an idea of just how close they are to the Randwick goal line. That's an excellent shot there.
You must have half a metre clearance between the two sides. Manly have taken the line out. Are they over? It's close. And the referee says held up.
Well, it must have been close, very close. It was interesting to watch there. Dick Byers, the referee, was in there looking at it. He gave the signal as though the Manly player was held up. But, obviously was on the far side.
Manly with a chance to score the try they've been looking for.
Because Manly really need a try in this half, whilst they are still leading, but it's only that 3 points. They badly need a try.
They're going for the pushover, but the Randwick scrum is held again.
Holding well.
Gavalis getting underneath Ollie Hall that time. It's still very close to the Randwick line. Williams! Big Steve Williams! The Manly captain has crashed over. And look at that smile.
Well, that was good play by both sides. Randwick really looked as though they were going to hold out. And Big Steve Williams is the try scorer, of course. It was at this stage that it looked as though Randwick, just prior to that, Randwick are going to hold it, as you can see there. Their lucky Maspot Singh. Williams got it and got himself just in close to the corner.
Well, that's the try that Manly have been looking for.
Well, it was the one they were chasing. They really wanted it. So, Manly supporters very excited now. That's the try. They had to get a try in this half. Remember, they had the wind assistance. But also, we'll discuss later on in the second half too, Randwick will be running with the wind if it continues, but with the sun very badly in their eyes. So Manly had that advantage.
If ever Manly wanted a goal, it's this one. Pretty good. Yes! What a super kick there by James Black. The crowd waited, and Manly by 9 points. Let's watch the strength here of Big Steve Williams, number 5. There he came in and mauled the ball straight through the middle of the maul, and that's a tremendous try by the Manly skipper. Well, Manly offside there in that scrum. They weren't found onto the scrum, but they've got away with it. Ella, he's danger. Mark Ella. Purdy. Walker. Good defence. James Black across.
Well, the Randwick forwards got that ball back well. And, of course, Mark Ellis sensed that it was on because the Manly backs were not in position. There was a poor tackle by Creera, John Creera on Mark Ella, almost let him go by. Can't afford to let Randwick run.
Telcraft at the back of the line-out. He took the deflection from Williams. Big Steve Williams is having an inspiring game in the second row for Manly. There he is, the try scorer. Australia's Test second rower. So we're approaching half-time now. And Trevor, how do you think this first half has gone?
Well, I think it's probably been played a little bit to plan, basically by Manly. They've controlled the rhythm around the ball, but let's watch this. It could be exciting.
Gary Ella caught by Ian Miller, his former Australian schoolboy teammate. Carver to Singh. Mark Ella. Watch him. Maxwell. Loose pass, Singh. Knocked forward there by Randwick, and the Manly defence is very tenacious.
Yes, well, just as we're coming up to half-time, I think that perhaps Manly would have liked another 3 or 4 points, but Randwick haven't quite got into their stride, but don't be surprised if they do in the second half.
Manly ahead by 12 points to 3. We're approaching half-time. Creera. He's found a big blind side. John Creera has been a real tiger behind this Manly pack. He started the season in 3rd grade. Paul Hartman was carried off in the 1st grade, the 2nd grade halfback. Then Philip Cox, the test halfback, was injured, and so he's been elevated into his first grade grand final. Creera, Rod Creera. Cox still going. Black, pass knocked down.
Now, this is where Randwick can be dangerous from loose play. Watch how quickly their forwards have got there. A lot of the Manly backs out of position. This is where Randwick love to chase the ball. When it's lying around loose, they get the opposition out of position and then pounce on the ball and get it back quickly. And Manly were out of position then.
Randwick forwards looking a bit rattled here. Manly ahead by 12 to 3, 30 seconds before half-time. So there it is, the half-time score. Manly ahead by 12 points to 3. Statistics on the first half from Peter Shipway.
For Manly, 1 try to Steve Williams, a goal to James Black, and 2 penalty goals to James Black for Manly's 12 points. And for Randwick, 1 field goal by Mark Ella. The lineouts favouring Manly by 10 to 7, the rucks and mauls to Manly by 8 to 6, and the penalties favouring Manly by 6 to 2. And now we cross down to Gordon Bray for the draw in the Try of the Year competition.
Thanks very much, Peter Shipway. Well, now it's time for our Try of the Year competition, and we're going to play you the top 4 tries of 1983 in reverse order. So here they are, the top 4 tries as judged by Trevor Allen and Ken Catchpole. The 4th top try of 1983 goes to the Manly hooker Rod Creera in the game against Warringah. Delamere's outside, inside his spear. James Black, brilliant play. Try to Creera. The 3rd best try of 1983 goes to the Eastwood outside centre, Brett Papworth, also against Warringah. Jones, Papworth. Off he goes, Papworth, lovely break. What a try, he scores! The 2nd top try went to the Manly inside centre, James Black against Parramatta. McGeek's in. Malone's well taken, this is Haining. Sheridan, Reynolds again. Cox, men outside, this should be a try to Black. They won't catch him. James Black up towards the posts. Under the post, thank you. And that's more like it, Manly. And the top try, as judged by Trevor Allen and Ken Catchpole for 1983, goes to the Randwick and Australian captain, 5'8" Mark Ella. Very dangerous. Brown, Purdy, Gary Ella's outside. Off he goes. Purdy, Mark Ella's there. Mark Ella, what a try! What a try by Randwick from inside their own 22. And so there are the top 4 tries for 1983. Number 1, try number G, Mark Ella. Number 2, try F, James Black. Number 3, try B, Brett Papworth. And number 4, Rod Creera, try number D. Well, if you've got those 4 tries in order, good luck, because we're about to have the draw. And it's Kirsty O'Rourke who's going to make the draw this afternoon. Kirsty, you're hiding a little cup down there.
Yes, Gordon, I am. It's Warringah's 4th grade. They won their 1st grand final today.
And your husband, Brian, played in the team.
Yes, he certainly did. Very good game.
Well, the Warringah supporters are delighted. Our 2 judges for the Try of the Year competition, Trevor Allen, how difficult was it?
It was very difficult, Gordon. There were 7 good tries. We managed to get through 3 fairly quickly, but after that it was pretty tough. I think you'll agree, Ken.
Yes, no doubt. We considered not only visual excitement, but technical competence, creativity, support play. And so after several viewings and long discussions, we settled on the ones we did.
Well, thank you very much. Here we go. We're going to roll the barrel and we're going to pull out 2 entries. Kirsty, please. 2 entries, and they will win $200 worth of merchandise from the ABC shop. Here they are. The first one.
Right, the first one, Gordon, is Kevin Dawson of 211 Oberon Street in Coogee. The second one is G.B. Burge of 20 Fisher Street, Balgowlah.
Right, well, congratulations to those people, G.B. Burge and Kevin Dawson, Burge from Balgowlah, Dawson from Coogee. Now let's join the Herald Cup presentation to Michael Mathers. And Mick Mathers has won the Herald Cup for the second time. It was a very close finish this year. He got there just ahead of Peter Lucas, Steve Lipbury and Ross Reynolds. Mick Mathers, the Eastwood captain. Eastwood bowed out last year, and the trophy presented by Jeff Goddard, the marketing manager for John Fairfax and Sons. So play underway now in the second half, and it's Glenn Ella from his own goal line, sending play right downfield with a huge kick. Randwick, remember, has the breeze in the second half, but what an inspiring try it was by Steve Williams before half-time.
And it must have given them a great deal of heart, because Steve Williams, of course, is the skipper and will drive his side on particularly well. But Randwick are all poised and set to make a comeback with this wind assistance. But I might just point out to viewers that don't know a lot about this ground, and when we widen out, you'll see the shadows of the players. Now, you can see even now the shadows of the players are very long. And of course, as the sun goes down, and you can see it straight down the field, Randwick will have the problem of the sun in their eyes.
Delamere, taken by Purdy. Solid tackle by Mark Ella. So, congratulations to our 2 winners. We had a very good response to the Try of the Year competition, and the 2 winners coming from Sydney. They named the top 4 tries in order. Williams won it well. Cox. Cox has been cool at 5'8" for Manly. Rutherford underneath. Couldn't take it. Whiteman. But it's Manly leading in the grand final by 12 points to 3. That was the half-time score.
A reasonable margin for Randwick to have to chase in a grand final. Early points to Manly in this half would make it very difficult for Randwick.
Knock on by Creera.
And I think that it was Glenella that put that one out, but they had sort of a kick under pressure. But don't be surprised if Manly get a little bit closer and we see them have a crack early for field goals.
Ross Reynolds. Reynolds and Williams have done very well in these lineouts for Manly. Manly ahead now by 12 to 8 in that department.
As Reynolds has jumped particularly well, as Gordon said earlier in our commentary, a player that really, I think, should have got a jersey to go to France.
Cox. Flemons. Well caught. He lost it forward. But the honours in the first half going to the Manly forwards. And there's a huge push from the Manly scrum. Tight head. Cox. Caught by his opposite number. Mark Ella steals the ball. Here's Glenn in trouble. Ross Reynolds wraps him up. 10 metres out from the Randwick goal line.
Glenn Ella was in trouble, and it's the sort of thing that Randwick do. Mark Ella, you might have noticed, flicked the ball back, really hoping that it was going to go in the right position. He would have been better to hold it up because his side was in a lot of trouble. But Randwick tried to play exciting football, and sometimes they do things that I guess a lot of us really suggest is not good football.
James Black in good position here for a field goal. Reynolds controlling at the back. This could be a 3-pointer. Here he goes. He pushed it, but Delamere could score. Mark Delamere. Oh, what a shame. The ball beat him over the dead ball line.
Well, good following on by Delamere. Black's kick was well worth the attempt. leading by 12 points to 3. Manly, if they could add 3 points, it would become a very tough game for Randwick.
Manly has won 5 premierships in 1922, 32, 42, 43 and 50. And their last win in 1950 saw the Manly side beat Trevor Allen's Gordon team.
Yes, and that was a real tough one that day. I remember it well. Manly were too good for us on the day. We gave them about 17-point start. We caught them up, but then they went and got some more. But it was a great game and very similar in many ways to this one.
Chance for Mark Ella. Back to Curran. Solid defence. That was Ian Miller round his ankles. Cox. Poitevin. He gets away from Poitevin. Malouf's there. Strong play by Cox. And this man, Tony Cox, they call him Tin Legs. But he has had a very strong game today, and he's beaten several first-line tacklers on many occasions.
Yes, he's been unfortunate. He hasn't had the support in the couple of breaks he's made.
Williams won it. Cox again. Flemons. High kick. Mark Ella there. Taken by Delamere. Glenn Ella. McGee, quick thinking. Well taken. Mark Ella. What are they going to do? No one coming through. Ella's found touch. Very coolly.
That wasn't an easy one. He was very close to the sideline. Simon Poitevin, who I might add, has decided that Cox, the 5'8" for Manly, has become a danger man. He flattened him just a while ago.
Reynolds again. Cox. Black. McGeech's coming in. Here he is. And he lost it forward. Referee will play the knock forward, and look at Glenn Ella away down on the far side.
There you saw the quickness of Gary Ella. Gary Ella snapped it up and then flashed it to Glenn Ella.
This is Paul Flemons, I think. Outstanding young outside centre for Manly. He's a product of Balgalla Boys High School in Cranbrook.
Must have been this is a reasonable sort of a tackle there with the attack going on. Let's see what happens there. There's a bit of a clash there. Where is he? I think there's a tackle there. A good solid one.
Looks as though he may have been winded there, Trevor, as Lloyd Walker came over the top of him.
Yes, the weight came down on top of him.
Offside Manly. Penalties have gone Manly's way this afternoon. And Mark Ella's going to have a shot for goal.
Well, he must have a shot. It's a fair distance out, but as that's the halfway mark, you can see just behind Mark Ella. He's not quite centre field, as you can see, but it's a good one and fairly difficult, but has the breeze.
So we've got a perfect angle with this kick by Mark Ella. We should be able to tell pretty early. It's a good one. Mighty kick from Mark Ella. And there's 6 points in the grand final. Ella has scored all of Randwick's points, a field goal and a penalty goal. And Alan Jones looking at the ground at the moment. That was a bitter blow, that kick by Ella. Steve Williams has scored the try for Manly, converted by Black, who's kicked 2 penalties also. Black has kicked 3 from 4, Ella 1 from 2. Here's Glenn Ella. Another huge kick downfield, using the breeze to perfection. But it's Manly leading Randwick in the 1983 grand final at the Sports Ground by 12 points to 6. We've had 9 minutes of play in the second half. Kennedy slips it back. Cox. Here comes Delamere. Very hard man to tackle. Mark Ella. Good hands. Gary. Here's Glenn. Stu Rutherford, the second rower. Randwick ruck it back. Walker. Ella. Ella looking for touch, and it's a good one. Randwick starting to apply pressure now. They want to turn on the tempo. Jeff Sale, the Randwick coach, successful last year on his right-hand side there in the dark glasses, is Ian Kennedy, the beaten reserve grade coach. Randwick's reserve grade going down in the grand final for the second year in a row. Steve Williams, fine two-handed catch. Offside. Randwick offending. But Big Steve has done an Andy Hayden in this Manly pack this afternoon. So we have about 30 minutes to go in this game, and there's 6 points in it. But it's Manly who calls the tune. There he is, that famous nose of Bruce Maluk. Rutherford. Rutherford taking it on. Now Poitevin mauling it.
Well, Manly did very well to stop that one getting out. Poitevin, of course, is a great forager for the ball, and his fiery hair is bobbing up every now and again. He had that ball and was about to get it clear, which would have been dangerous for Manly, but Manly were able to swamp him.
This has been a very hard, bone-punching struggle in the forwards. No quarter given by either pack.
Well, there's still plenty to come. Neither pack has given in. They're really trying hard to maintain the pace that they've set. There you can see how they crunch together. Was obvious, you can see there. I don't think there was any damage done, but Maxwell was the man that came charging through and, of course, hit the little halfback. That's the Manly halfback. There's the Manly halfback picking up, and there comes a bump. That was a bit late, very late.
And the Academy Award, though, to John Crerar. That award usually reserved for Michael Nethery. But it was all pretty harmless, really. Silly play, though, by Maxwell. Calcraft, he's had a strong game for Manly at the back of the line-out. The Manly forwards are refusing to relax. They are keeping the pressure on this Randwick pack.
Manly, of course, must keep the pressure on. Manly really want another 3 points so that they can have a little more buffer than they've got now.
Glenella. Good tackle by Ross Reynolds. Glenella has been very sound under the high ball.
He set himself for that tackle. He was in a terrible and very vulnerable position. But he took the mark and took it very well. And Reynolds, of course, is a very big man. So Randwick have moved back into the Manly half. Got 8 metres. Whilst there's 6 points the difference, one would have to say this is still anyone's game.
Ross Reynolds calling the tune at the back of the line out. Crerar and Rod Crerar, his brother. Calcraft's there. John Crerar to Cox. Black. Nice kick. Glenn will send this one back over halfway if he can pick it up. Not quite to halfway, but still a pretty handy kick.
That's right down to the 10-metre mark. Manly backs not looking that good when that ball comes out. Cox seems to have slowed up considerably, and they're not letting their centres run onto the ball well enough. Again, I must pay full marks to the Randwick centre defence.
Crerar. Well, the two big men in this Manly pack, Steve Williams and Ross Reynolds, have had almost a free hand in the second half lineouts. Poitevin, loose tap. Sing's in trouble. If Manly can score a try here, they can clinch the grand final. Delamere. Still in play. Whiteman.
for Manly as the rucks and the mauls. Manly still going fairly well there, holding their own and just heading Randwick off. Randwick usually do very well rucks and mauling. They normally get there quicker than the opposition. And so full credit to this Manly pack. Manly not quite sure how they want to play it. They're getting reasonable possession. And their halfback Creer, of course, is using the blind side considerably more than I thought he would.
Ball coming out here, but offside Manly. Manly has won the second half lineouts by 7-3. And at the moment they lead by 12 points to 6, and we've had 15 minutes of play in the second half.
Randwick through Mark Ella might put this up and under. No, don't know what that was all about. That was the most unusual kick.
I think he was going for the up and under, but didn't judge it as he would have liked.
Either that or he changed his mind because it's certainly not a Mark Ella kick.
Mid wide, 16-32. Mid wide, 16-32.
No one could pick it up that time. Not in straight, says the referee. It's been a great effort here by the Manly forward pack. Randwick, though, hanging in, as they always do. Mark Ella, Gary Ella. Chip over the top. Here comes Damien Brown. The bounce is crucial. Look out! Nasty bounce there for Tony McGeek.
Yeah, very bad bounce for him, particularly with Damien Brown, the fast winger on for Randwick, bearing down on him. Here comes Damien Brown. He's very quick, and he was looking for the ball, hoping it would just bounce and elude McGeek.
Ross Reynolds. Hasn't he done it well? And it's another line out, and the penalty goes Manly's way. Randwick getting frustrated by this aerial dominance of Reynolds and also Steve Williams.
Steve Williams, I think, on the ground there, but certainly a good, that's Reynolds, a good jump by Reynolds. I didn't realise he went straight to the ground, but he didn't quite get the support he should have got, because when he got that ball, he had to hold it really on his own for quite some time. And the support was a bit slow coming to it. Well,
so Reynolds is okay. He's had a strong game for Manly. Not a good kick there by Black, but it went out. That's the main thing.
and now
He's kicking into the breeze.
Sorry, Randwick going for the two-man line-out.
Rod Creera, he and Maloof have had a great struggle at the front of the line-out.
Well, Steve Williams, big Steve Williams for Manly, managed to put paid to that. Neither side really desperate at the moment, but if we get through another 7 or 8 minutes, it will become desperate for Randwick if they don't add to their score. I reckon they've got about just over 20 minutes to go.
Gary Ella beat the first line, caught by Black. Can Randwick get the loose ball back? Here it comes. This is within kicking range. And there's the sponge man, Philip Cox, for the Manly side, the former Test halfback who damaged his knee at Manly Oval on the 25th of June this year. He would have been a certainty for the Wallaby Tour and for the internationals against New Zealand, Argentina and the United States. But Cox is running the sponge.
There's an unfortunate thing about that injury, of course. It happened in about the final 5 seconds of that particular match. And he is a great little halfback, and Australia sorely missed him this year. This kick, incidentally, is almost the same position that Ella kicked from when he kicked that last good one.
He's hooked that one.
Well, it's a bit of a let-off there for Manly, because it's the sort of one that Ella can punch over, and as we mentioned earlier, he punched one over from almost the same position. And so relief for Manly. They'll have gained a little bit of confidence on that, but it will have stirred Randwick, of course, to greater heights.
Williams tapped it back to Creera. So Manly's been against the breeze in their second half, but most of the match has been played in Randwick's territory. That's an indication of the dominance by the Manly forwards. Malouf. Knocked forward by Randwick. They've made heavy weather of it in these lineouts.
And the Randwick pack has slowed up a little bit, not getting her out as much as usual, and that's mainly because the Manly pack are confining them, making them stay with the tight play.
McGeek. That's a good kick. If you look at the Randwick scrum, we'll have a look at it in the next scrum. Their second rows appear to be too high.
Yes, I think the pressure has been pretty sustained, and the bigger Manly pack has driven hard in scrums and in this area in the lineouts.
20 minutes gone in the second half. Poitevin taps it back to Singh. Walker. Lloyd Walker. Curran couldn't pick it up. Play on, says the referee. Knock on by Creera. That was a pity because there was an overlap on this side. Let's have a look at this scrum now.
Yes, let's have a look, because the Manly pack has been putting great pressure on. See, the pressure is on, and the buckling in that second row there.
Walker. Back to Curran. Good defence, though, again from the Manly back row. They were waiting for it. Here's the overlap. Black kicks deep downfield. Delamere sprinting after the ball. What a kick! What a kick by James Black.
That was a magnificent kick, bearing in mind he had the wind to contend with. I must admit, I thought he may have let that one go, because I agree with Gordon, there was 1.5 overlaps there, and they could have perhaps thrown the winger clear. But that kick was a magnificent one. It's a metre from the goal line. And so Randwick have the pressure on them. Points here to Manly. There it is. Points here to Manly would make it difficult for Randwick.
Ross Reynolds has moved to number 2 in the line-out. A try here could win the grand final. Manly controlling in the maul. Still in play. Whiteman. Mark Ella intercepts. Walker. Ella. Damien Brown. Purdy's with him. Brown still going. Breakaway by Randwick. Purdy. Gary Ella. Gary Ella still going to Purdy. Tackled by Black. What a breakout by Randwick. Randwick wants the ball though. Where is it? Well, that was an example of the brilliance of the Randwick backline.
Well, that was extraordinary. Have a look at this. That's where Manly looked as though they were going to go in and get a try. And this is what the sort of football that Randwick turn on. All of a sudden, picked up by Mark Ella. Here's Glenn Ella up with it, number 15. There's Gary Ella, support galore, and it was that devastating grab by Black that put an end to it. But what a magnificent effort, great effort by Manly to get themselves down into the position of almost scoring it when the ball came away from that last line out. And now we see Randwick have raced it down to the Manly quarter. Great football by both sides.
Psychologically a real blow for Manly that time. But McGeek finding touch up towards the halfway.
That last comment, Gordon, is a very important comment, because Manly, I believe, thought they had a great chance of adding the points that they wanted to win this game. They didn't, and psychologically, you're quite correct. They must have been a little bit downhearted, but that devastating tackle of Black's would have helped them considerably.
Poitevin, who wants it? Mark Ella. Glenn. Well tackled. There's the loose ball. Singh. Manly offside. Let's wait and see what Mark Ella decides on here. Again, it's in kicking range with the breeze behind him, but they're going to take a tap. Ella. Walker. Curran. Poitevin. Oh, what a tackle! That was Spider Haining. Walker. Malouf there. Randwick now turning on the pressure. Gary Ella to Glenn. Purdy. Off they go. Purdy. Black. James Black. He could score. Gary Ella. He missed it. Singh. Sensational stuff here. And Singh's found touch, but he was out on the full and he's flat on his face.
Well, the game really, and the crowd, the game's broken loose. And here it comes. Watch for this. This is where Black, you'll see, gets the ball. And as Gordon said, he looks as though he can go and get it himself. And I must admit, I thought if he'd have clapped it on, he may have beaten that big fella. But of course, there's a chance there that the defence would have got him. Watch for that. That's where Singh was flattened, and that was the kick. And of course, we go back now to the quarter.
This is Greg Stores coming on for Randwick onto the wing. Damien Brown has left the field.
Well,
Greg Stores, a product of Matchable Boys High. Dave Cochran could be on the field shortly for Manly also. Manly still leading by 12-6. Poitevin at the back. Taken by Calcraft. Poitevin goes down on the loose ball. Randwick looking for it.
Well, everyone's getting their money's worth out here today, and of course everyone is sensing that Randwick are set to break loose, but they are finding some very fine defence from this Manly side, and it's been a couple of good full-blooded tackles that really have given Manly hope.
Controlled at the back by Reynolds. The Manly scrum's been good all day.
Manly trying to get Randwick offside, looking for that penalty. It's Singh, the little halfback, the lucky charm for Randwick.
There it comes. Black. Nice kick. About 13 minutes to go in the game. Manly by 6 points. Can they hold on and upset this unbeaten run of 5 premierships by Randwick?
Well, I would think that from here on, particularly in this sort of area, I don't think Manly will try to run it very much. I think they'll try and keep it tight down the sideline and get rid of some time. It's anyone's ball, that one.
Time running out now for Randwick. Walker. Shocking kick across field. Here comes Haining. Stores. Gary Ella, one man in front. He's looking for support. Clemens the tackler. Haining's there. Play has been fluctuating back and forth as Randwick are applying the acid test, but Manly won't give in.
Well, watch for this tackle from behind by Flemings. It was a good one. He wrapped him up, ball and all. Most important, because when any of the Ella boys or any Randwick player has it, you must wrap them up. And so Randwick turning on the champagne football that they can do, and they're finding some great defence stopping them.
Long kick downfield by Black. Here's Glenn Ella. There's only one man in front here. There's an overlap. Oh, Glenn Ella put out of the play. That's a penalty. Referee Dick Byers also, I think, is carrying an injury at the moment. I've seen the reserve referee Ian Tomlin warming up. Bad kick by Mark Ella. Tony Cox straight ahead, caught by Mark Ella. Williams went on the loose ball.
Well, it's pretty non-stop.
Now, we've just heard from the official timekeeper there's 15 minutes to go. Manly leading by 12-6. Mark Ella to Walker. Walker. Gary Ella. Mark Ella's inside. This will be a try, will it? defence by Manly as Randwick look to be in for the try.
Yes, and just watch for the man that picks Mark Ella up. It's big fella Reynolds, but here you see Randwick once again with the Ella boys. That's Gary Ella bursting through his brother Mark, and that was the tackle, of really glorious tackle by Reynolds, and another good tackle on Poitevin.
Tight head here to Randwick. Well, if Ross Reynolds will ever forget that tackle, I'm sure no one else will. And I think today maybe he's had something to say to the Australian selectors by his deeds on the field.
Yes, a superb tackle, superb play. Manly player injured. And so the tempo will cool down a little bit.
That's Paul Kennedy, the man who was the replacement in the 1981 grand final for Ross Reynolds. I think this is a very good opportunity for a breather here for the Manly forward pack. Manly leading by 12-6, but they know they're only a converted try ahead, and haven't Randwick applied the pressure over the last 10 minutes.
Well, once again, Randwick, a side that can pull anything out of the hat. This has been a magnificent final. Great defence, great attack, good forward play.
McGeek's found touch. Good clearance again by John Creera. John Creera at halfback has kept his cool and had a big hand in this Manly lead so far. Rutherford, who wants the loose ball? Williams slipped it back again, offside Randwick. 14 minutes to go.
Well, Randwick then went for the two-man line out. They're looking for possession. They're looking to have plenty of players out to run it. But they made the mistake of the offside position there.
Alan Jones sensing victory now. Still a long way to go, though. If this match is tied at full time, we will have 10 minutes extra time each way. That's quite a possibility too, because a converted try would enable Randwick to draw level. And they've been threatening danger over the last 10 minutes. Calcraft bowling from Creera. John Maxwell, number 7 there, who's been carrying this hamstring injury, has done everything to inspire the Randwick forwards. They've hung in there very gamely. And I think Michael Nethery could be on the field very shortly. Black looking for the big one across field, and it's a good one. Here's Glenella. Not in touch, now it is. Mistake there from Ella.
Well, he was a little unlucky. It just kept going on, and he really thought it was going to pop up. And of course, he just gathered it just near the line, and his momentum took him along the sideline. So a good kick by Black. He's got his side out of that danger area. But this is the area where Randwick often break loose. And this is the area I said, and I said it earlier, that perhaps Manly should close it up a little bit. Keep it in this corner if they can with their bigger forwards, and they have.
Williams, he lost it forward. Steve Williams almost over for his second try. Manly really throwing back everything at Randwick now.
That was the indication that Manly happy to play it down the sideline, keep it close, get over some more time.
The Randwick scrum has been very disappointing in this game. They struggled to get clean ball to the halfback. The seconds ticking away. Exactly 10 minutes to go. Singh caught by his opposite number. And Manly have the feed.
Well, Manly now have a tremendous decision to make. I think there's little doubt they'll get this ball with the feed and the way their pack's been going. Whether they'll keep it tight or whether they'll take the gamble of running it.
Well, they're going to try and move up towards the Randwick line. They're looking good. It's close to the line. This could be a pushover try. It's close. Cox. The referee didn't play advantage.
Extraordinary. That really was an extraordinary decision, that. I honestly thought there was a try on there, and the referee has blown up for a penalty. As Gordon has said, he didn't play the advantage, and it was very clear that there was a strong chance of Manly scoring.
Well, if James Black can kick this goal, I think Randwick's reign may well be over.
Well, I think a lot of people have said that. Gordon, that's Black. You see, he was looking at the scoreboard, which is right alongside us here. You also would have been looking at that clock to see just how long there was to go. And it is, as Gordon says, the one that could put an end to Randwick's run. But bear in mind that there is one thing that can happen from this, that if he does miss it and it doesn't go over the dead ball line, don't be surprised if this Randwick side set sail to go to the other end, because I do think they'll probably try and run it. They'll run it until they are covered by defence, and then I think they'll go for a long raking kick. That's, of course, if he doesn't put it over. And what a great shot we have on it.
Can James Black put this one between the uprights to give Manly a 9-point lead? It's out to the right, no goal. Mark Ella, he's running from behind his own goal line. Big kick downfield. Oh, wasn't that lovely play by Ella? He's taken play back to the halfway line.
Well, Ella had a look to do what I thought he might do, and that was run. But the Manly defence had spread itself well, and Mark Ella took the next best option, and that was to put it into this area.
Creera to John. 7 minutes to go in the game. Randwick have struggled for the line-out ball in the second half. (19-13) in the line-outs. Reynolds. Curran. He's gone into touch. Reynolds again, a thorn in Randwick's side.
God, that was good play by Reynolds. His final pass was not good because he didn't quite measure up and have a good look at his support and threw it to the Randwick player.
Randwick are on their knees now. Manly by 12-6. 6.5 minutes to go. Ross Reynolds wins another line out, but the ball wasn't thrown in straight.
Now this is where Randwick can be awfully dangerous. There's no doubt they'll throw everyone into it.
Mark Ella to Walker. Glenn Ella. Stores outside. Greg Stores. The fullback in front. Mark Ella's inside. Mark Ella. Stores. 5 metres out. It's a try. It's a try to Randwick. Sensational play. Lloyd Walker's over. And the conversion will level the scores. What a grand final it's been.
Oh,
Randwick never beaten.
Well, what a great finish. And watch for this, Glenn Ella. It was Glenn Ella that came in from the fullback position that hit the ball and made the gap, and Stores. And watch for number 8 here. He makes a valiant attempt here to tackle. That's Reynolds again on Mark Ella. Mark Ella is well collared, but once again, Randwick never say die. And there's Walker scoring in the corner. Well, this might mean we have extra time.
So this is the kick that could level the scores. It's from touch. Bad kick by Mark Ella. Look at Jeff Sale, the Randwick coach. Manly in the lead by 2 points. Exactly 5 minutes to go.
Well, Manly really have got to get it down to the Randwick end and control the play. Chris Randwick will do it again. They get half a chance, they'll run at the length of the field.
Driving kick by Glenella goes over the halfway line. Less than 5 minutes to go. Manly in the lead by 2 points. Can Randwick now snatch it from the fire? Manly have done everything but win this game. Can they hold on? Steve Williams, what a crucial line-out jump that was. Black. Who wants the ball? Mark Ellis there. He's caught. The Manly forwards may have done it again here. I think they have. They've outplayed Randwick throughout this game. And it's that Manly 8 which has set up what could be victory in the 1983 grand final.
And one man getting up there slowly, of course, is Black, the man that put the ball up high, number 12 on your picture. Has played a very good game today.
4 minutes to go. Reynolds controlling at the back. McGee could be looking for a field goal here.
I think
He's a long way out, though.
Bit too far out, I think, but it should be put in the corner.
Here it goes. It won't have the legs. Glenella. Less than 3 minutes to go now.
Here they come.
Glenella still going. Beautiful play. Stores. Throwing forward. Scrum with Manly speed. 2.5 minutes to go.
That field goal was really too far out from McGee. I would have thought that Black or McGee would have been better off punching the ball into the corner just before the corner flag, as they've done on several occasions. But they've got themselves out of that trouble. But with Randwick in the mood they're in, they could run at the length of the field again.
Tight head here to Randwick. No, the referee blew his whistle first. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Has Manly broken their 33-year drought? Watch out, here comes Randwick. Gariella still going. They're finding gaps now, Randwick. It's coming out again for Randwick. And that's a penalty. 2 minutes to go.
Randwick will go for a quick tap, I would think. No, Mark Ellis calming them down. But they must be able to obviously see the clock.
Mark Ellis following. Watch the bounce. Black's there. He couldn't pick it up. Black's caught. Kennedy picks up for Manly. Less than 2 minutes to go. Manly holding on. And Randwick has got the scrum feed. Is this Randwick's last chance? It's within field goal range too for Mark Ellis.
Well, both sides must be getting very tired now, because the last 10 minutes has been very torrid. It's been real non-stop stuff. Randwick poised. Their pack's ready to go. There's the bell.
The bell's gone. Mark Ellis, field goal, right foot. It's out to the right. And is this the end for Randwick? It's all over. And Manly has done it. They have ended Randwick's unbeaten run of 5 straight premierships. And what a day for the Manly side and their first season coach, Alan Jones. Look at Steve Williams. They're going to cheer him off the field. Well done, Manly. They've thoroughly deserved this victory over the Premiers this afternoon. The final score, 12 points to 10. Trevor Allen.
Well, Gordon, it probably has been one of the most exciting grand finals I've seen. Congratulations to Manly. It certainly was a tremendous effort for them. Randwick just didn't hit their straps as well as they possibly could, but I'd have to say that was purely and simply because of the way Manly played. But before we continue on, and Gordon Bray is going over to the other side to have some interviews, I'll call in Peter Shipway to give us a few of the statistics of this very important and exciting game.
Thanks, Trevor. Well, for Manly, 1 try to Steve Williams in the first half, James Black a goal and 2 penalty goals. And for Randwick, Lloyd Walker a try 5 minutes before full time, Mark Ella 1 penalty goal and a field goal. The half-time score had been 12-3 in Manly's favour. The full-time score, Manly 12, Randwick 10. In the line-outs, all Manly by 20-13. The rucks and mauls favoured Manly by 14-9, and the penalties also went Manly's way 11-8, and the tight heads 1 apiece.
Well, thank you, Peter. Well, there you can see, just listening to Peter's comments on what actually happened. And when you look at the line-outs in favour of Manly, 20-13, that's fairly indicative of the struggle that Randwick had all day. But if you add the rucks and mauls to it, 14-9 in favour of Manly, that really made it a very difficult day for Randwick. But what a great game it was. Manly set out to try and take control with their forwards, and they certainly did it well. Their backs, I must say, weren't really a match for the Randwick backs in attack. But as far as their defence was concerned, it was first class. And so there you are, you can see a very happy Alan Jones, the coach of Randwick, of Manly, should I say. And of course, it has ended the run of Randwick after 5 consecutive premierships. And I've always said, and I can remember years ago saying about the St George League side, when it ran up 11, that I would be very happy when a side was good enough to beat them. But now I believe that Gordon Bray is in the area where all the excitement is, so over to Gordon Bray.
Well, jubilant scenes down here as we're now speaking to the Manly coach, Alan Jones. Alan, what a fantastic performance. How do you feel?
Oh, just I can't believe it. I mean, you know, phenomenal sort of character. Just phenomenal character by the side when the odds were against us in the end. I thought here when we survived that try and made the try scored out wide, it was the turning point because they were rampaging and we just found defenders from somewhere. Fabulous performance.
And what about that tackle from behind by Ross Reynolds?
Yeah, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable defence. And I thought when they came across here and closed it off, it's hard to say anything sensible. We're very excited.
What did you say to them at half-time?
Well, we were playing it minute by minute, and you know, I just said we led at half-time. We had to take the next 10, the next 10, and I know they were watching the clock. And then we fluffed it a bit just down here on the when we had a right on the line to put in, and surrendered it, and they got up there. But nothing I'm saying is making sense. We're overwhelmed by this.
Fantastic effort, Alan Jones from the Manly side. Trevor, if you can take it back there for the time being.
Yes, I will. Well, Alan Jones, of course, was pretty well lost for words, and I don't blame him because, as we said earlier, the last time that Manly won a grand final, I played in it and played for Gordon, and that was back in 1950. So it's been a long time between drinks, and you can see that Alan Jones was very excited, and obviously so are his players. Big Steve Williams, the skipper of the Manly side, really put on a tremendous performance, led his side well, and he's now with Gordon Bray.
Steve Williams, fantastic effort there. How do you feel?
I don't know, I've got no words for it. It's tremendous. It's been a tremendously dedicated team, and today it just showed out the spirit we had. We got in front. There's no way they were going to get us. It's bloody top team ever.
What did it feel like when you scored that try before half-time?
Oh, pretty good. I don't score them very often.
Is that your first one this season?
Second, I think.
Now, in the second half there, Randwick really threw everything at you. Were you worried at that stage?
No, I said right from the start I had a lot of faith in our backs that they'd hold them out, and that's what they did. It was a great effort.
Well, we're just spoken to Alan Jones. I think he's a pretty proud man.
Very proud. Alan's done a bloody tremendous job. We can't take anything away from him. This effort is mostly due to Alan's coaching.
You were talking about retiring. I hope you're not going to.
I don't know.
Well done.
Well, as you can see, still plenty of excitement here at the Sydney Sports Ground. And might I say that this probably has been, as I said earlier, probably one of the most exciting games that I've witnessed. And really, it was the fight back by Randwick in the second half that looked as though they were going to make it. But this Manly side did it so particularly well.
Well, really, jubilant scenes here as we say good afternoon to our interstate viewers. See you later. In the meantime, the presentation now by Peter Falk to Steve Williams. Amazing scenes here. The Manly boys are ecstatic. I can see their breakaway over here, Bill Calcraft. Here he is.
Bill. What a great day for Manly.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, Gordon. Sensational feeling. Good exhausted at the moment. They certainly never give up. I think obviously we won the forwards.
You won it in the forwards today, but also some of your backs to the ground.
Outstanding defensive back. Today's been for the entire second round. And that certainly contributed. But Randwick never give up.
It appeared from the sideline the Manly side did not let up for 1 minute of that whole
Well, that's
game.
been a problem. We've led well early in the first half. We've given up. We concentrated in the first 20 minutes after the first half. And that's where we won it. We concentrated minute by minute this week.
Well, Bill, you played for the AB. You played. So now it's Steve Williams holding the cup aloft.
The shirt shield, which hasn't been on the Manly Club since 1950. I have great pleasure in presenting the shirt shield to Steve, and congratulations to all those at Manly.
Peter Falk, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, and Manly supporters. It's been a tremendous afternoon for us. It's been 33 years for a lot of the supporters here today, so I think it was worth the wait. It was a bloody top effort to our team, to the Manly team. It was an effort from a lot more people than the 15 that were out there. All the people behind us today, it was a tremendous feeling. And all the people in the club, the administration, it's been a tremendous year for us, and congratulations to everyone at the club.
Well, it certainly was a tremendous season for Manly, and a tremendous season for this fella too, the big international.
To our coach, Alan Jones. Alan just joined us this year. He's a new man of the club, but he's worked wonders with the team. He's built a tremendous team spirit, and I'm sure that's the only thing that won the day for us today, the team spirit. Thanks very much, Alan. Thanks very much.
Well, that was big Steve Williams, the second rower, the international who played so well throughout the international series this year, and of course is selected to go away to France with the Wallabies, and is a player that is developing and gaining tremendous amount of experience. Peter Falk, president of the Sydney Rugby Union. Happy days for Manly, and this, of course, is Mark Ella.
I'd like to congratulate the Manly club, Steve Williams, Alan Jones, and the rest of his team for the fine performance they put up today. I think at long last the Manly club has come of age. It's taken 33 years or so, and I believe they had the support of 10 other Sydney First Division clubs. I'd like to thank our guys for the effort they put in today. We just couldn't get the 6-1 up. I think time was against us. I thank them for the effort they put up this year. And we'll be back next year bigger and better. Thank you.
Well, Mark Ella, the Randwick, and of course the Australian captain, who will be leading the side to France, has had a magnificent season, not only club-wise, but internationally. Obviously, the Randwick club will be terribly disappointed about losing. They obviously were looking for quite a string in a row, but they haven't been able to do it. But I've always said when a side goes as well as a side such as Randwick, when they get beaten, we can only assume that it's a better side that's beaten them, and that's what we want in this game of rugby. A lot of good sides up the top, and here's Manly doing their victory run round the Sydney Sports Ground, and it has been a great afternoon for them, and it must have been an afternoon that really gave them heart attack at all, throughout the game. And whilst they led 12-3 at half time, they then, about 8 minutes into the second half, saw Randwick get closer, and it was 12 points to 6. And from then on, really, it became a major problem for Manly to keep Randwick out, because Randwick always are a side that really and truly come home and come home well. And of course, when we saw Walker score his try, that was one end to the other, and that really meant that Randwick were coming back. And in that period, Manly must have had their heart in their mouth because everyone knows when Randwick goes, they're difficult to beat. But here they are, a very happy Manly players, and I think Gordon Bray is ready for us over there. So we'll throw over to Gordon Bray.
Well, now we have Mark Ella. Mark, a great disappointment for you, no doubt, and the side.
Yeah, Gordon. We did enough. It was a very hard game, and it's not easy to lose premierships when you won 5 in a trot like us.
Where do you think the whole thing came unstuck today?
Oh, maybe a lack of a consistent goal kicker. You know, a few kicks would have made all the difference.
Did you feel the pressure with that last kick from touch?
Yeah, obviously there was a great deal of pressure. Maybe I should have taken it a little bit slower, but I believe that, you know, with or without the kick, we still had to score another try to secure the game. So, you know, I missed it, and that's the way it goes.
I guess you must have a couple of nice things to say about a couple of your Wallaby teammates, Ross Reynolds and Steve Williams, today.
Yeah, they played very well. They jumped extremely well and committed in the tight stuff, and they went extremly well.
And Randwick will still be celebrating tonight?
Yeah, obviously we're disappointed with our performance, but we'll celebrate. It's been a long year, and I think the guys, although we finished second, they'll be glad to see the end of it.
Well, you've got a big tour to look forward to with the Australian team.
Yeah, that's right, Gordon. 3 more weeks, and then we're back into the hard stuff. I think I'll go on holiday before that, though.
Where are you going for your holiday? I mean, maybe you better not tell anyone.
No, I think I'll keep it to myself and maybe try and relax a little bit.
Well, congratulations, Mark, on a fantastic job. Bad luck for Randwick, but it really has been a magnificent record.
That's right. Thanks, Gordon.
Is that your last game in a Randwick jersey?
I don't think so. I'll always wear one. Even if I don't play with them, I'll wear one.
OK, Mark, thanks very much and best wishes.
Thanks, Gordon.
OK, that's the scene here at the Sydney Sports Ground. It's been Manly's day today. They've won the grand final by 12 points to 10. On behalf of Trevor Allen and our statistician, Peter Shipway, good afternoon from the Sydney Sports Ground, and they'll be drinking plenty of champagne over at Manly Oval tonight.
And well done to the Blues. By the way, many, many years ago, I played for both teams at a minor level, so I finished the season with the Quinella. Well, now it's on.
Welcome to another World Sports Roundup. The America's Cup at Newport, Rhode Island has certainly dominated news bulletins this week, and later in the program we'll be looking at the first 2 races. But firstly, tennis, and the United States Open Championship at Flushing Meadow ended in triumph for Jimmy Connors, who clinched his 5th win in the event. Connors overcame stomach cramps and a badly bruised right toe to beat Ivan Lendl of Czechoslovakia in 4 sets. Lendl has yet to win a Grand Slam title, but for Connors, it was his 100th tournament victory, and he became the first man past the $5 million mark in prize money. After serving for the 3rd set, Lendl lost 10 games in a row, and in the end was totally demoralised. Jimmy Connors winning his 5th United States Open title in 4 sets. Nothing wrong with his sore toe. Britain's world champion middle distance runner Steve Cram has beaten Britain's other world champion Steve Ovett in a mile event run at Crystal Palace Stadium last weekend. Taking the lead with about a lap and a half to go, he held off a desperate last-second challenge by Ovett, and he went on to win in 3 minutes, 52.56 seconds.
Front-running Cram has made the break, but hasn't broken Ovett. Ovett in the perfect position. Cram with an elegant stride, and then the controlled power of Steve Ovett in second place. Menacing Cram all the time, and Cram trying to run the finish out of the world 1,500-metre record holder. Ovett showing signs of pain, but Cram hasn't got away. What has Ovett got left? Cram tries to kick again. The gap opens. It's 2 yards. Can Ovett close it? Here he comes on the near side in the perfect position to attack. Cram is still holding that yard, and it's Cram going away again. But Ovett closes once more. But Steve Cram, the champion of the world, proves himself the champion of the world to beat Steve Ovett with Wilson Wade won third, DeLeese in fourth place, Buckner 5.
And the British track and field press has just voted Steve Cram as the British Male Athlete of the Year. To motor racing, and with 2 races remaining in this year's World Drivers' Championship, the stage is set for a nail-biting climax. Alain Prost leads the table on 51 points, but he leads his teammate René Arnoux by only 2 points, with a further 3 to Nelson Piquet. The 2 remaining races are the European Grand Prix and the South African Grand Prix. Last weekend's Italian event at Monza was won by Piquet in his Brabham BMW. He crossed the line 10 seconds ahead of Arnoux in his Ferrari. Prost was forced out of the race on the 26th lap when the turbo on his Renault gave out. That's Riccardo Patrese. He struck trouble on the 3rd lap when his engine blew up. Piquet started alongside Arnoux and took the lead on the 3rd lap. Piquet built up a good lead and still had enough up his sleeve despite refueling on the 31st lap. To boxing now, and highlights of 2 world title fights, the WBA bantamweight title in Tokyo and the WBC light flyweight title in South Korea. And there were batterings, both of these. In the first bout, the American Negro Jeff Chandler was too powerful for Japan's Murata. We joined the fight in the 10th round, with the Japanese having survived 2 knockdowns. Murata was knocked down for a 3rd time in this 10th round and showed tremendous courage. The referee, Isidro Rodriguez, finally stopped the fight at 1 minute 54 seconds of the 10th round. Jeff Chandler of the United States in the blue shorts, retaining his WBA World Bantamweight title in Tokyo. In South Korea, the local hero, Young Koo Chang, twice floored his Mexican opponent, Herman Torres, on the way to a comfortable points win in the World Boxing Council light flyweight title fight. The 12-round match ended with a unanimous decision from the judges. They scored the fight 119 to 108 and 118 to 108 in favor of Chang. He was defending his title for the 2nd time. Both knockdowns came in the 10th round, and Chang, aware that he had a big points lead, was content just to stay out of trouble in the final stages of the fight.
라이트 치는 장정고, 그러나 라이트 홍사는 토레스.